The problem in today's environment is littering. It is caused just by lack of caring from multiple individuals.
I believe the problem with the environment is our lack of respect. I believe this comes from the way we treat the world and the way we treat ourselves, as well as our beliefs about the environment.
I think global warming because it's caused by pollution.
I think air pollution is an environmental problem in society today because a lot of people rather drive places than get exercise or walk, and the cars are polluting the air.
Well, some of the problems that I think the environment has right now, first of all, it would be global warming. And I think that the main reason for global warming is us. Like we, the people of the world, have caused global warming by not recycling, by polluting too much, polluting the air, polluting the rivers, polluting everything, not taking care of the environment, basically. But I think that also some of the problems are very related, that we cannot say we have global warming because of that. I think everything is related, and it's not only global warming, we have also deforestation. We've killed all the trees just to make paper, and we don't care about reusing the paper or what could we do instead of using so much paper. Another problem is the poles are melting, and that's also related to global warming. And basically it's because we don't care. So I would say the main reason for all the problems of the environment is the human being.
Alright, I'd probably say toxic spills and stuff like that, probably one of the environmental factors. And then some of the causes and stuff like that, I'd probably say carelessness of some of the big oil companies and stuff like that, like BP. And then they use our tax money and stuff like that to they can be careless because they use our tax money provided by the government to kind of fix their issues.
I walk to class and I fill up my water bottle instead of using plastic water bottles.
Well, personally, I have to confess I don't do much to help the environment, but what I feel is I'm becoming more and more aware. Now, in my country, recycling is not a big thing, and really the government doesn't pay much attention to it. And so, but now that I'm here, like I see you're concerned about recycling, I don't think that you really follow those ideas, but you are concerned. You have like different trash cans for different recycling materials, but in my country it's really hard to find those kind of things. So you can only recycle if you're really concerned about that, and you have to think yourself about that and do that at home and on your own. As regards, for instance, water, now I'm becoming more aware that whenever I take a shower, it's better to turn the tap off and, I don't know, and then turn it on again, or when you brush your teeth to take care of the water. That's not something I usually do, but those are things that we should all do.
My efforts to help the environment include not using plastic bottles and instead just buying a water bottle and using that every day. I recycle.
Alright, recycle.
I recycle.
Personally, I walk around, and whenever I see a Gatorade bottle laying on the grass or see like an Airhead wrapper on the ground, I pick it up and I try to dispose of it properly.
I definitely don't do enough for the environment, but I recycle when I can. I don't drive my car around a lot as much as possible around campus, and so instead I walk a lot and do things like that.
Me personally, I try to limit my water usage, whether it's in the shower or brushing my teeth, to save, I guess, water. And I try to avoid doing anything that could lead to the pollution of a clean water source.
What I do is like pick up trash, and like if anybody needs help with breaking leaves or anything, I would help them and do it in a good cause.
I admit I don't think I do enough for the environment, but I do have a deep respect for the environment, and I share that with others.
right, I say as society as a whole, we need to start recycling more, driving more fuel-efficient vehicles, and just being more efficient in general. Walk instead of like driving to class and stuff like that.
As far as what the society can do about it now, I really think that we should have more community service events. Maybe even make a game out of it, just to get people's attention, at least catch their attention, and try and get them to do what the world needs.
So what society as a whole can do to help the environment? I think, as I've said before, I do many tiny things that all put together can do a bigger thing. I think that if the whole society did that, it would be very, very good for the environment. Like, for example, here in the US, you waste too much plastic. Like, everywhere you go, they have all these plastic disposal glass cups and plates and forks and knives. And that's really a lot of waste of plastic. So if you didn't use that, it would be very better for the environment. You drive your cars a lot, so maybe you could think of sharing the car. I mean, I know it's hard for you not to drive because the distances are bigger than in my country, for example, but if you drove all together, that would help reduce the emissions. Yeah, basically, I think the easiest thing to do for us is recycling, because that doesn't cost anything. I mean, you just have to think where you are going to put your waste, your garbage. I don't know, I think like taking the other people that are taking the environment, taking the animals in consideration, like don't throw garbage out in the forest or in the wood, like, yeah, basically that.
Well, what I think that society as a whole should do is, well, what I have already mentioned is recycling, taking care of water, and another thing that I feel here is like the use of cars. You use cars a lot, you have to go to the cab from your dorm and you take the car instead of walking. You don't even have like pavement for people walking, like the sidewalk in this area, so you have no other chance, and if you have to walk, you cannot even do that because you don't have the facilities. And also like looking for ways not to waste so much plastic. For example, making more reusable materials or reusable things that you could use again instead of making so many like how do you say, disposable materials that you have to throw away and pick a new one. So that's the main thing.
Overall, I think that if we're more careful with how we use our waste and where we put it, like not just dumping it in a garbage can, but instead putting it in recycling, using the recycling for fuel, that kind of stuff, I think that would help our environment a lot.
Society can provide better educational resources for the upcoming generations.
I think that the whole society can come together and just pick up trash or just help one another do good.
I think that society just needs to be more aware of what the problems are environmentally, and then that way that they can actually do something about it.
I think society as a whole can try and carpool a little more. That'll reduce your carbon footprint and stuff like that. You can figure out your carbon footprint on different websites and stuff, and it'll tell you how much pollution, how much water you're using, and, you know, stuff like that will help. Just even if it's just one person, it'll make a difference.